welcome to XconMedia, man. Well, we talk about situations and, life stuff. Check this out. This story here, man, kind of like touched my heart, It's about a 6-year-old that brought a gun to school. He brought a gun to school and shot the teacher. Good thing teacher didn't die. So let's go ahead on and get into this story real quick. Let me share my screen. This is a real sad story on a ton of levels. I'm gonna start by saying first, I'm not gonna blame that 6-year-old. It's not his fault. Let's get into the story real quick.
Welcome to Who's Talking. We have two things in common, and I bet you don't know either one of them.
Do I get a hint? I don't think I chose the universe. I think the universe chose me.
Who's Talking to Chris Wallace, Sunday nights at 7 on CNN.
A police investigation is underway after a 6-year-old boy shot a female teacher yesterday in an elementary school classroom in Newport News, Virginia. According to the authorities, the student and teacher were in an altercation when the 6-year-old student who had the gun fired a single shot, hitting her. They say this was not an accidental shooting.
Yeah, the teacher was immediately rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries, but officials say she has improved since she was admitted. CNN's Gloria Pazmino joining us now. Gloria, this is simply shocking. What more do we know about what led up to this incident?
That's right, Amber. Alex, a shocking, disturbing news out of Newport News, Virginia. This happened shortly after 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon while school was still in session. Police tell us, as you said, that this was during an altercation between this female teacher and her student, a 6-year-old. That means this was a class of first graders. That 6-year-old pulled out a gun and fired a shot into that teacher. The teacher immediately rushed to the hospital, as you said, with life-threatening injuries. And at that moment, the school also began lockdown procedures to make sure that no other students or staff was put in danger. Police also explaining yesterday that this shooting was contained to that one classroom and that at no moment were other students at risk after this shooting. I want you to just hear directly from law enforcement and school officials there in Newport News yesterday.
We have been in contact with our Commonwealth attorney and some other entities to help us best get services to this young man.
And I'm in shock, and I'm disheartened, and I really feel that we need to educate our children, and we need to keep them safe.
So more questions than answer on that last point from the superintendent. We are still waiting to hear more details of the investigation to learn exactly why and how this child had a gun, brought it to school, and exactly what led to this horrible episode. And of course, a community that is very shaken and wondering exactly how this happened and what can be done to make sure it doesn't happen again or affect any of the students in this community.
This week.
Well, okay. It's again, condolences to all that's involved, the 6-year-old, the teacher. I'm not gonna blame that 6-year-old in this case. Obviously, he has a lot of emotional stress. And a lot of issues going on that he needs counseling for. So we're not gonna blame him. I will blame his guardians, his mom, dad, whoever take care of him. Number one, firearms are to be secured. Period. You got firearms in the house, no matter where they at in your house, your firearms are supposed to be secured away from minors, because by law in most states, if one of those firearms get out and a crime is committed with that firearm, it's your responsibility. And this is just a sad situation. It's your responsibility, because this child had to get mad about something. 6 years old. We're talking about 6 years old. This child was born in 2016. Yeah. Child was born in 2016. And he brought a pistol to school. So he had to go home. Obviously, this has been boiling for quite some time now. He had to go home, get that gun. When he was thinking about where to get that gun at, what was you doing? Why was you not watching your 6-year-old? He went to sleep, woke up, had his gun with him, got on the school bus, went to school, waited for the next opportune time that he got mad at the teacher, and he had to pull the gun out. 6 years old. They should charge his parents. Period, point blank. There's no way around that. 6 years old. We're not talking about somebody that's 11, 12, teenager. We talking about a first grader taking a gun to school. That's a society issue right there. That is a society issue. And that's why I've been saying for quite some time on my channel that anger management needs to be taught. There's a big disservice being done to our kids in the education system. They need to be taught life stuff. Yes, 1 + 1 = 2. Cool. But you need to teach these kids anger management and how to react in situations when stuff comes up that don't go your way. Because if you don't teach them about adversity, about conflict resolution, that's where tomorrow's criminals come from. So I'm writing my legislation. I'm doing my part. I've written emails to legislation in Georgia to be able to put anger management and conflict resolution into the school systems. If you teach it to them young and teach it to them often, you're going to have less BS in our world later on down the line. So this is my resolution. Hopefully that 6-year-old gets the help that he needs. Let him know that, yes, you have done the wrong thing. You've done bad, but by no means should he be arrested, charged with anything. Those parents should be charged with allowing that firearm to get out of the presence of them and get all the way transported all the way to school and to commit the shooting of the teacher. You got to, we as a society got to do better. Anger management, conflict resolution, thinking for change, it's all kind of classes that if you take them now, you won't have to take them later on down the line in prison like I did. Appreciate you tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe.